Hey, soldier. You're back. Old habits. Did I miss anything while I was off having a sulk? Nothing out of the ordinary, then. You know, soldier, we're so fucked. The Dark Three are trying to consume the Sword Coast. We've still got tadpoles in our eyes, and I've got a ticking time bomb in my chest. I'm not sure anyone has ever been more fucked than this. And yet, we're fine. In this moment, we're fine. Here I am. There you are. Breathing, talking, even laughing if we want. Is it very precious to say that, despite it all, I'm happy? Gods, I've changed. I used to hamstring pit fiends for fun. Look at me now. To make matters worse, there's something I wanted to ask you. Will you stay with me when it's time for me to go? I think I can do anything if you're there. Even die. Thank you. Now, enough tragedy, I'm not gone yet, and our schedule is packed with important heroics, isn't it? Plus, if I cry anymore, I'm gonna run out of tears and start leaking motor oil. Thanks for everything, soldier. I'm extremely glad to be in this thing together.
What's this, cousin? Another absolutist, come to see what we did to poor old Sarin. Your god took her mind, cultist, so Bereki took her head, and I burned the flesh from her bones. And now you come to interrupt the funeral rites. Yes, cousin. An excellent idea. Cousin says we will take you in return. He says you look just like kindling for Sarin's funeral pyre. I took my friend's life, but only after your god took her soul. Sarin, Bereki, and I, we were the three finest thieves in Baldur's Gate. We broke into the offices of Gortash, discovered he was with the Absolute too. Your fellow cultists hunted us, so we hid down here. We were safe, and so was our loot, until the darkness soured Sarin's mind. She kept our treasure from us. Said Bereki and I had gone strange. Hush, cousin. Sarin turned into a cultist herself, so we did what we had to. Bereki wept until his voice was gone, and then he was gone too, leaving only me to conduct Sarin's rites. And my cousins here. You cannot conduct the rites without a clan to bear witness. Or some fuel for the fire. You're right. It must be a cleansing fire. A pure one. I took Sarin's life. I must be sure she does not lose her soul as well. Pass then, and do not come back. This is Sarin's final resting place, and a killing ground for all who come to disturb her.
Ah, a friendly face at last. Are you going to the party as well? I know. Bit strange, isn't it? But then you have to be open to trying new things. The venue's called The Palace. Not sure what it stands for, but it sounds very exclusive. My date's supposed to meet me here, but there's no sign of him. You haven't seen him, have you? Pale, skinny, extremely piercing eyes.
The individual descriptions could refer to many things, but taken together, she can only be referring to something vampiric in nature.
It's funny. He was ever so keen for me to come. He didn't seem the type to cancel. A vampire? No, he wasn't. Was he? But then, why am I still here? He could have had me by the neck any time he liked. You think something's happened to him? You know what? I might give this party a miss. Plenty more fish in the Chionthar, as they say. If you see him, don't tell him I was here. Just tell him I wasn't ready to be in a relationship. I'm sure he'll understand.
Arabella seems not to notice you as you approach. She's as intent on examining a peculiar stone as she is unbothered by the corpses littered on the ground.
Arabella?
Hey! I had a feeling you'd show up. It's sort of our thing, like it's fate or something. Check out the stone. It's magic. Incredible, right?
You are flooded with memories of the distant past. Creatures slain, lovers reunited, spells crackling through the air. The stone holds records of all who have passed by it. Arabella is collecting them. It's as natural as breathing for her.
And I've only scratched the surface. I want to know everything. Bone Man was right. The weave will take care of me. I just need to listen. Don't worry about me, I'll be just fine. I'll see you soon enough. Bone Man said so.
A rush of ancient whispers fills your mind as you approach the door. It is rife with magic. Old, deathly magic.
A new vessel brimming with blood darkens Baal's door. To baptize his deus most holy. Do you have proof of your faith to our Lord? You hold proof of faith, but to hold and deserve are different. How have you proven yourself in the Dreadlord's eyes? You lie. You are not faithful. The door stays closed. The vessel returns, most shamefully unleaking. Prove your faith. You must bear proof of the Dreadlord's favor, or pay his toll of blood. You hold proof of faith, but to unorthodox. But a show of faith nonetheless. Walk in blood.
Stone seals this chamber against the world. The Baal amulet trembles in frightened awe. Murder. Bloody murder. Who else but Baal would these symbols honor? Will you return once you cross this threshold?
Smell it. Gortash's corpse stain. His killer approaches. See how good I was? How patient while you drained the tyrant's juices for me. But Saravok's crimson was not yours to spill. He was mine. You had no right to take him! Oh, did it think it could protect? Did it think it could save? Only the blades can offer salvation. You do not lie, underling. It is your blood I am destined to spill. Your death spit will stain these walls, little lamb. Oh, your murder should have been exquisite. A crypt-born effigy to greet Baal's bleeding dawn. And now it will be nothing! Come to me, Father. Set my flesh to your unholy purpose!
A metallic tang fills the air as the Slayer's form is drained of life. Ashes to ashes, blood to blood, you have robbed another god of his chosen.
So, we have the final stone. I need to see it for myself. There it is. So innocent, but such potential. You have done very well indeed.
The Netherstones pulse with psionic energy, permeating you, pulling you in line with their rhythm. The thrum quickens, rising, cresting on a single feeling. A location.
A moving pool beneath the city itself. So that's where the Chosen imprisoned the brain. If memory serves, there are smuggling routes beneath the city. They will take you underground. When we reach the pool, we will find the brain, and we will end this. In death, thraldom, or freedom. But a word of caution. Once we cross into the Elder Brain's domain, there will be no turning back. Finish your business here before you proceed. The brain will be waiting for us.
Baal's chosen has been bled. May her torment be tenfold of that which she inflicted. It's said that anyone who bathes in the river of blood emerges as one. I feel the weight of these horns on my head, curling upwards like a mammoth's tusks. I feel these ridges snaking down my neck. Not to mention a few bumps and prongs in unmentioned. But I haven't seen my reflection just yet. Be my mirror. What do you see? I can't tell if you're being silly or serious. I'll accept the flattery either way. I suppose I'll grow used to the new me, horns and all. The people will see a curiosity, maybe even a beast hungry for their souls. But I will slay their monsters, keep them safe. And one day they will see the Blade of Frontiers again.
Let me back in. I'll bring Leroican out here, you tin tube. You tell Leroican I went for his goddamn night song, and now he has to pay up. What are you looking at? Maybe. I don't know you, though. And I'd thank you to get out of my face. Get out of my face. I've lost good people to the wizard that owns that shop. Leroican. Offered a huge pile of cash to chase down some relic called the Night Song. If he'd mentioned it was buried under a goblin hive, I'd never have taken my people there. He owes me a lot. Anathema. You found it? Where is it? I ought to knock some sense into you. But you know what? I'm too goddamn tired. If she's out there, I'm gonna find her. You mark my words.
It's the axes.
Water elemental appears to turn towards you, showering everything with a bracing mist. The lava elemental looks at you placidly, near unfathomable heat beating against your face.
Literature department. Can I help you? Shh. These books are sensitive. They prefer an environment of quiet reverence. Bold. You might have heard that our library has a collection other shops would lack the skill to curate. Between us, even Master Leroican was reluctant to house them in his tower. The pen is mightier than the magic wand, apparently. They're locked away here for their and our customers' safety. Our finest reserve includes the Tharkiot Codex, the Annals of Karsus and Netherese Folly, Sights of the Seelie, and the Curriculum of Strategy. Do any of those interest you? It is said to be written by Lord Karsus himself, the Netherese arcanist who attempted to replace the goddess Mystra, failed, and was banished for the attempt. Great magical knowledge lies within those pages, but not many can withstand it.
That's it. That's what I need.
The annals of Karsus would no doubt have much to say about the crow's true nature. If only you could read them.
Buy? Books as temperamental as these are not on sale. They are secured in our vault, where none can harm them, nor can they do any harm. Consider yourself lucky to have learned of such a book's existence, and then forget about it. The annals of Karsus are best left unread. Customers like you are why I prefer the company of books. The only way to gain access to the vault is through my office. And before you ask, no, you are not allowed in there either. You certainly have. Even simple knowledge of these tones is enough to stimulate most.
Welcome, dear patron, to the floor at the top of the stairs. If you have information about the Night Song, great riches await. If you are here to waste the great wizard Leroican's time, reconsider. Let your knowledge determine your path forward. Hold very still, Nicklaw. Craig's aim is much improved, but still leaves something up to chance.
Yes, sir. All right, Crank.
Ready? Aim. We have a visitor. At ease. McClaw, you may go. I see no night song. Surely you wouldn't have entered my tower without the night song in hand, hmm? Surely my worthless apprentice wouldn't have allowed you to waste my time. Fascinating. You've been to Shah's temple, haven't you? To the Shadowfell? Alas, I've paid for a good deal of very privileged information. Now I await the results of the generous contract I've commissioned. Answer now, or see what happens when fools misuse my valuable time. You left her there? Then go retrieve her, you imbecile! Or it will cost you a world of riches, so vast you cannot even comprehend the loss. You can go now, before I lose my temper.
The Annals of Karsus. The preamble to a civilization's downfall, committed to parchment by the very hand that wrought its destruction. If the crown atop the Elder Brain was truly forged by Karsus himself, this book will confirm it. All we have to do is turn the page. That devil Raphael was telling the truth. There's no doubt. The crown of Karsus is what's controlling the Elder Brain. And this is no mere journal. It contains Karsus's original plans for the crown's construction. His designs for godhood. Not exactly. It was what he did with it that sealed his fate, and, for a time, that of magic itself. The crown was merely the means. The book states that the crown and netherstones were originally one construct, seemingly sundered at the moment of Karsus's downfall. If we can collect the crown's setting and the 3 netherstones, and with the correct invocation of certain spells and gestures detailed in these notes, I think I could reforge it. Do not mistake the crown itself for the actions of its wearer, or rather, those controlling its wearer at present. If we could restore its former glory, it would no longer be a mere leash and collar used to subjugate friend or foe. It would be something greater. Something divine. Just think of it. The power of the gods in mortal hands at last. Would be free of doctrine and dogma, confined only by the limits of our imaginations. I promise you, the gods will never grant us such a blessing, no matter how much we worship and adore them. Some gods may delude themselves into believing they care about their worshippers. But when it comes down to it, we're all expendable. Children to be appeased, not respected. I worshipped Mistra loyally for years, and in that time she granted me the barest sliver of the power I was ready to wield. Even with the fate of the world at stake, she had little more to offer me than the means of blowing myself up at a more convenient time. She's done nothing to help us. Mistra wanted the brain obliterated because of this crown. She fears a world in which such power is beyond her control, ready to be claimed by Karsus's successor. Neither of us can know what truly may be if we don't at least try. Potential is nothing in itself. Just a fleeting dream unless we drag it into the waking world. Please, at least think on it. Powerful as he was, Karsus lacked some advantages I can lay claim to. I know Mistra intimately, and I carry a fragment of the weave itself within my body. Karsus achieved many things, but he never managed that. A long road lies ahead before the crown comes into our possession. All I ask for now is that you do not dismiss this possibility out of hand. Please, at least think on it. I see. I suppose I am asking you to take a leap of faith even the most loyal of companions might struggle to land gracefully. Spent so long feeling inferior, shut out from my destiny over such a simple act of youthful enthusiasm. Perhaps I got carried away with the thought this crown could give me back what Mistra took. Cure me, even. You're right. There aren't many wizards who'd care to be mentioned in the same breath as him, or his folly. Whatever comes of this, we cannot allow the crown to be reforged in Raphael's image. A devil wielding the might of Karsus? It would be the end of everything.
Once it's extracted.
Elminster?
Oh, hello, my boy. No, don't mind me. I'm just enjoying a lungful of Baldurian air. Yes, a distinctive aroma, though perhaps not one worthy of bottling. Tell me, what curiosities have you and your companions discovered within the walls of this esteemed emporium?
Perhaps it would have been better to keep that particular opportunity between ourselves.
The crown of Karsus? No, Gale. It's for the best that I know. I trust there's no need to remind you what came of Karsus. His folly humbled a whole civilization. No one seeks an encore of that. This is not the way. However tempting it is to imagine such power would benefit this plane, it is a curse. And it always has been. But perhaps the folly need not be repeated. Such a crown could be a fine token of your loyalty to Mystra, rather than a weapon to threaten her with.
And why, exactly, should Mystra have any say on what I do with the crown?
Mystra knows you defied her, Gale. Well, of course she knows. She's Mystra. She bids you come to her holy shrine in the Stormshore Tabernacle. There, she will grant you an audience at last. Not true. Not even close. Mistress' ways may seem cold, high-handed, tyrannical even. But she is a goddess. Her ways are not for mortal reckoning. Though some mortals come close to understanding. Very close indeed. The crown is not the answer. I promise you that. If you will not hear it from me, hear it from your goddess. What truths she has to offer are for your ears alone. Gale of Waterdeep. Godspeed.
So all it took to get Mystra's attention was to learn how to reforge an artifact that once destroyed her. It's obvious when you stop to think about it. The Weave is a highly sensitive, magical network threaded through all life on this plane, any shift in magical energy, no matter how small, is akin to a beacon, alerting Mystra to its cause. Opening a book, like the Annals of Karsus, was akin to us shooting a firework spelling, "Look at us, Mystra," directly into the skies of Elysium. She knows. This is a conversation that's long overdue on both sides. I owe it to her to hear her out. Come what may afterwards. After you.
There she stands, just as Elminster promised. Mystra, goddess of the weave, mother of all magic.
The old man wasn't lying. She's opened the summoning channel. Can't you feel it?
Gale's right. The very air around the statue crackles with magic. It sets your teeth on edge.
A stream of pure, undiluted weave. I only have to reach out, and it will carry me to Mystra, wherever she may be.
An audience with your goddess can go wrong. I should know. But do whatever you feel is best, Gale.
Time was, I'd have given my right arm for a chance to speak with Mystra again. The left one, too. Maybe a knee. Am I? You're right. I am a strong, capable wizard. And this is no more than a casual reunion with an ex-lover. My omnipotent, omniscient ex-lover. I always wonder what being nervous would feel like. I hate it. You're kind to say so, but this is hardly my first time in Mystra's presence. It's more the matter of what I'm going to say to her. During my time locked away in Waterdeep, I prepared a quite comprehensive speech for her on the subject of our former relationship and the manner in which it ended. Alas, recent events have rendered the majority of it moot, so I'm going to have to improvise. Unless you have any words of wisdom to impart before I go. The summoning channel Mystra has provided is one only I can enter. No matter how much I prefer not to face her alone. You're right. A heartfelt apology is the surest way to a goddess's heart. And her favor. I pray that she'll be in a forgiving mood. If she weren't the one I'd be praying to. I'll only be gone for a matter of moments. The Outer Planes experience time quite differently to our own. Wait for me. Please.
Gale of Waterdeep. You look well.
Mystra. I never thought we'd speak again like this. Why am I here?
There is much unsaid between us, but time runs ever short. You discovered what lies at the heart of the Absolute, the crown of Karsus. And you disobeyed my instruction. Why?
I didn't want to die. And when I saw the crown, I thought I might not have to, if I only understood its power.
And you believe you have the right to such an understanding? The past cannot be undone with self-pity, nor can a future be forged. Only with the truth will you see the way ahead. The fragment of magic you tried to return to me was not of my creation. It was the Karsite weave. It is a corrupted, half-born magic, wrought in the brief moment Karsus ascended to godhood. It hungers for power, just as he did, and it can never be sated. You unleashed something that would consume all magic in existence, and yet you thought only of preserving yourself.
That can't be. It wasn't. It couldn't have been. I only wished to prove myself worthy. I had no idea.
You were already worthy. What you lacked was patience, and it cost you dearly. When the Karsite weave entered your body, your gifts were the first thing it consumed. The only reason the orb sleeps is because I have allowed it to feed on the true weave. A temporary measure, but one that will not be enough to save us. With each day that passes, the Elder Brain threatens to become a new kind of god. Its worshippers, a scourge of soulless illithids. If you will not use the orb to end this abomination, then you must find a way to separate crown and host. When you've done this, you must surrender the crown of Karsus to me.
I won't let you down again. When the Absolute is vanquished, I will surrender Karsus's powers to you. You have my word.
Thank you. May the Weave's light guide your purpose, and its wisdom guide your hand. The future of magic rests on your shoulders, Gale of Waterdeep. I promise you, it is a burden you are strong enough to bear.
Back on mortal soil once more. I can't believe I saw it. After all this time. And what you felt was but the slightest drop, drawn from the rushing torrent that is the weave. I confess, without my former prowess, even I struggle to stand her presence. The effects on the mortal body of such unfettered magical exposure cannot be overestimated. She held back in order to protect us, to make sure I heard her. The Karsite weave, within me this whole time. I knew the orb was no ordinary ball of magic before it to be Karsus's malignant creation. Gods! How did I not see that? True enough. There's a reason such unwitting heroes have been the backbone of lyric and legend for as long as both have existed. Even so, I was hardly some naive apprentice at the time. I considered myself an archmage, and yet was fool enough to be mistaken for a common conjurer. At least now I'm armed with the truth, and Mistra's expectations. Once I bring the crown of Karsus to her, I can put everything right. The orb, too. I'll be myself again, for all that's worth. I'll have to disagree with you there. Having not one but two parasitic entities within your body does very little for one's faith in one's personality. Still, I should take the compliment with the same generosity it was given, so thank you. If I could promise you one thing in return for your faith in me, it's this. I will use everything in my power to ensure we defeat this evil. I will not let you down. Now, I believe we've a date with an elder brain to get to. Shall we?